Hi, welcome to the Evolve Show, episode 3. Hope you're doing great, everyone. My name is Hyro, and as you can see, I'm not looking the same. I do have the VW avatar. I'm not even like the Rex Yoon, but yeah, I'm here. I'm Hyro. I'm alive. Welcome to everyone on this show. Welcome to the public in this instance. Today I'm gonna show. Hi, hello Wolf. You're gonna talk about like tech news.
Yeah, I've been keeping tabs on a lot of VR projects over the years, and there's been quite a few developments behind the scenes that I really want to get into today.
Okay, thank you. We do have also like Karen that will talk about like maps.
Oh wow! I got a couple of worlds. Very nice, fine selection for you today. So look forward to that.
Actually, can't wait. That'd be really cool. As always, as always. And Lyra, hi.
Hi, I'm so ready to. Well, I'm excited to explain about a game that I've played, that I've seen. So can't wait to talk about that after this.
Okay. Well, that's the Chronicles, and we do have an amazing guest tonight. We do have Jason, the creator of the EO's straps. Hi,
Hello,
and welcome.
hi. Thank you for having me here. Excited to be here tonight.
And wait, what time is it for you? Just to let people know.
5 a.m. Yeah, it's still
so yeah,
tonight.
Really early. So thank you so much for being here with us. We're gonna ask you some questions. By the way, guys, if you have any questions in the chat on Twitch, in the instance too, you can raise your hand and you will be able to ask questions directly to Jason. So let's start. Wolf, let's present.
So I'm going to start with the platform we're on right now, actually, VRChat, because we've gotten a whole host of new tools and updates recently, and there's even more stuff in the beta builds that you might not know about. I'm going to start with some of the more beta stuff that is a little bit hidden. I'm going to start with the Steam Audio beta specifically. This gives you improved audio spatialization, so it's more precise and it gives you more of a sense of like the direction of the audio. There's more stuff that didn't exist before, like a Doppler effect. For example, if a car goes by, you'll hear it go meow. And of course, player voices are going to be a little bit better, especially in crowds, because the pickup pattern or the way that the sound comes out of the player's mouth is going to be directional. So if you're behind their head, for example, you're going to hear a lot less of their voice, and they're going to have to look at you to be able to project the voice easier. There's also going to be a naturally harsher roll-off as a consequence of switching from ONSP to Steam Audio, but you can adjust this with earmuff mode, and they're going to be working on it as they improve the beta features. Now, next we have 3 new camera features, the first one of which is the camera dolly. So this is amazing for cinematography, machinimas, and you can use it pretty easily. You put down paths in the world, and you can animate the camera to move along those paths. You can animate the lenses, you can animate the filters, you can spin the camera around, and it's gonna be really good probably for Karen also for his world photography, I imagine.
I love it.
Yes.
Some specific stuff it's really useful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's even an option to change the audio so that you can have the audio come from the camera's perspective. So if you're recording something and you want to make sure that the audio is coming, in the direction that the screen is, you can toggle that in your settings. But that's not the only thing that we got. We also have the camera drone. Now these guys are pretty cute. They're little blue creatures, and you can fly them around with your controllers, with your gamepad, or you can use actual flight stick controllers if you are a huge fan of drone racing. You might like it. It is missing a couple of features that I think would be great for quality of life, like maybe a follow me or look at me mode, so you can just kind of have the drone doing its own thing without having to control it. But other than that, I think it's really cool. And they are very loud, so if you want to turn them down, you can do so in the audio settings individually. Thank me later. However, the last one is for real cameras, like the ones on your phone or your webcam. This is the Selfie Expression feature, currently only supported on desktop and Android. VR users still will need to use face tracking options, using OSC. And iOS support is coming soon, so don't worry. And this uses the camera to track your upper body, including the face and the fingers. And it uses the existing stuff in the SDK, like the blinking and the visemes, to control the face, which is not perfect, but they're planning to expand it in the future to support many more face tracking shapes natively. And finally, desktop users can properly interact with avatars, objects, pick stuff up, pat people on the head, and do lots of other cool stuff without needing a VR headset, which I think is awesome. And you can even video call people on your phone and actually move your avatar. It's amazing. There is something important also for developers, is that native face tracking features in the SDK are hinted as being planned and actively worked on. So hopefully in the future, you won't need a mess of animators and weird OSC magic to get face tracking working in VRChat. But what if you play in VR and you just can't wait for native face tracking quite yet? Well, that's where Project Babble comes in. So this is an open source face tracking project. It comes with hardware that you can purchase on their store, and also free software that you can use on any sort of camera if you want to build it yourself or you want to mount it on your headset. You can use it wirelessly or wired, which is great for standalone if you can't connect it somehow. And previously, I know a lot of people have had issues with these trackers, specifically with it not recognizing their face properly or it not working very well with facial hair. But I'd like to tell you that they have been hard at work at a new and improved version of the model, 2.0.7. It's got 10 times the training data from the older model, and it's been considered to be better than the S-Rapinal Lip SDK for the Vive face tracker. It detects a lot of much smaller and less noticeable movements, like very slight smiles and frowns, and it's much more accurate across a broader range of faces because of all the training data. And they're still working on issues with the facial hair, but they are definitely resolving that in development. It's in a beta phase currently, so if you want to access it, you have to access it through the beta phase, and you can't use the released version of the software. But it is expected to release a month from now. So if you tried it before and it wasn't working, or you're interested and you thought it might not work because of the issues it had before, I would recommend giving it another shot. Now, we've talked about these before, but I've got some pretty exciting news on relevant updates to them, the slime trackers. So a brief overview for those who were not here when I talked about them earlier. They are IMU-based trackers. They're a relatively more affordable solution to base stations or like ultimate trackers and all that stuff. It's open source software and hardware, just like the Babble project. However, people have been working on ways to get rid of things like extensions entirely. These are small slimes. So previously, you would have a tracker, and from that tracker, there would be an extension. And that wouldn't work really well, so they decided to move away from that model and instead just use individual trackers entirely. So these small slimes are much more smaller than the regular trackers. They are 4 by 2 centimeters in size, and they are reported to weigh 12 grams. So they're incredibly light, they're incredibly small, and you should be able to wear them much more efficiently. There are also some new release candidate or beta versions of the server that are fascinating. Version 0.14 has magnetometer implementation for compatible devices, and it's showing a lot of improvements, not just for devices with magnetometers, but regular slimes, in reducing drift and also improving the calibration and the movement of the trackers over time. So you no longer have to dance for 2 minutes and then tap your chest to recalibrate and all that. It should be much, much longer lasting without drift. And then there's also version 1.14, which has improved calibrations and scaling for proportions, and it's reported to be easier and more efficient than using the Autobone or the other existing methods of calibrating your proportions. There's also SlimeVR Gloves, which is very similar to the gloves I talked about earlier, and they're early in development. They support flex sensors and also IMUs, but they are in a very rudimentary and developmental process. So it is possible to use slime gloves, and it is possible to make slime gloves, but you will have to use a very specific version of the software currently. But it is something that they are looking into, and it is planned, so keep that in mind. But speaking of tracking, we also have some huge news regarding the hand tracking gloves from the first episode as well. The EoZ gloves. We have alpha prototypes. They're reported to be ready in 1.5 weeks, so keep your eyes on those. Look forward to seeing your favorite content creators covering them, trying them out, seeing what they think about it. The beta prototypes, which is the next stage of the project, are soon to follow in around 3 or 4 months, and they will be distributed a little bit more generously, so more people will probably be able to get their hands on them and try them, but the alpha types will be a little bit more limited. Fingers crossed, maybe we'll get our hands on them and try them, but if you are excited about hand tracking and you really like the gloves, they're coming soon, don't worry. So I hope everybody is excited for all these new updates. Is there anything else that the audience would like to ask, or you guys?
I want to have them. I want to have them.
Yeah.
I want to have
No
everything.
pressure, right? Yeah,
So
We
you
all
can,
want
you
them.
can sell me
We all
everything.
want
I'm
them.
gonna buy it.
no pressure. No pressure.
But yeah. And no questions in the chat. No question. Okay, in the instance, no, nothing. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Wolf. That was amazing news. And we'll see about the gloves. The gloves. Sorry. Next time. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, I think it's time now for the game review. Presented by Lyra. Hello again.
Hello. Well, I know it's nice to see new faces and old faces. As a game developer, variations such like mechanics and even the freedom in virtual reality games really speaks to me about how much depth it carries. And I'm I love depth and immersion when it comes to video games. And I understand it all, from the complexity of the environment, the spaces, and I mean, that's what virtual reality is about, being in one place to another within the comfort of our homes. But to add on to that, I'd like to introduce you to a game that I had to try for myself. And it's probably a title you've heard of or seen of before, of the first game, Boneworks. And this one, the second one that came out after 2 years, is Bone Labs. So, Bone Lab, a highly immersive action game based on physics, mysteries, and endless possibilities your way and my own way. And may I add, I did everything from throwing my gun, jump kicking enemies with my full body, climbing cages, and well, I almost had my face sculpted by a tiny mini robot. And yeah, I just really don't want to try that again. Moving on, aside, everything was breakable, from the boxes to the radios, and well, I mean, even the enemies, you could grab them and attack them, which you should, since everything there is after you. Even the robots. Sadly, not everything wants to be your friend in the game, but surviving is and should be the top priority in this game. Players are equipped with weapons, guns, and swords through every level, so there's a variety of things that you can have equipped. I had my katana. I felt like a badass. So having that in my inventory system, you can use it to open and store items too, which I do find it convenient, and switching weapons whenever I want to, from pulling it from the top or the side. Oh gosh, I felt really cool. Just gonna put it out there. Reloading. I know reloading is a really important thing when it comes to first-person games. Has been more convenient in this game because you can just pull from your pocket and just put it towards your gun, and then. So I won't lie to you. My favorite part in this game was opening those elevator doors. There's never a time in real life or in virtual reality where I felt like opening the doors to the elevators felt so, like, I felt so cool in that scene. And so with my hands, I mean, I've always wanted to do something like that, though I only saw those things in the movies. So doing it for myself, I do feel proud. Yes, I do. I really do. I said this previously, but this game felt like the next big step to what virtual reality has to offer. And for those who are looking for adventure, and I want to feel like you're in a Matrix movie, you want to feel like you're in like a fantasy well, this game takes you everywhere, everywhere. I was running from a train. I was like on the train track, and I was running, and oh my gosh, I felt like I was gonna get ran over in 3 seconds. I made it, barely made it. I barely made it. So, but players are given the variety of weapons. So as long as you have a weapon, there's a sense of security, and I felt a very long sense of security in that game. I'm okay.
Oh, and
But
one thing, like
yeah.
the doors like reminds me I mean, it reminds me like the doors when that you open in Half-Life Alex, when
Yeah,
anyone who
yeah.
played that game, like that's for
I've
the
seen
same.
it. I've
So,
seen it. I should try it in the next one. I should try it in the next
oh,
one
you should
and
try it. It's like
play
it's around like
it.
I would say like 12 hours of gameplay if you take it easy and just chilling.
Ah, it's on my wish list. I will do that.
I mean, I
But
tried the
yeah.
weekends. Like on the weekends, there's like a promo. Like so, like it's about like 16,
Oh,
17 euros instead of like
what the
60.
heck?
So yeah,
Okay, well, I have to take that chance now.
yeah,
I take deals. But another
yeah.
thing to add that I really feel like this game, uh, sadly, this game is not multiplayer. I know a lot of people like to go on adventures, for with people, but this game is, oh my god, it's spontaneous by itself. I believe that it's much more. You gain a much more experience on your own with this game, which is a big approach because it's futuristic and sometimes it scares me when I have to jump from a high building and then I get to somewhere else. But there's so much content to go through, and everyone's going to handle this game differently. I have my own experiences, my own situations. I even grabbed the enemy's head and I went on my knee. I felt really cool doing that. So, I mean, I could go anywhere. And as I said, everyone's experience with this game is going to be different. But I had a really great time and I recommend this game 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Any questions in distance? Oh wait.
I will answer one question from the chat that I just got. So Alex asks if SlimeVR is working on hand tracking. Yes, they are. They are working on. It's very early in development, but if you do look in the Discord server, for example, you will see a channel called Finger Tracking, and there's going to be a lot of developments there about the gloves, about the server regarding hand tracking.
Well, okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Lyra. Thank you so much for the game review.
Homework is such a fun game, and Bone Labs. They're both amazing games.
They
I
are.
never played
enjoy
Bone Lab.
playing
I
them,
should.
yeah?
I should.
Oh,
They
it's
feel so
much fun.
weighty. Like everything
Good.
feels like it exists, and you're not just like swinging
It
controllers
does.
around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I should try it out. Okay. Well, thank you so much. If you want to, do you think that will work for VRChat? I mean, that was the question for like the. Wait, I do have a question in the chat by Alex Fox.
Yeah, I
Do you
answered
think
that.
that will work for? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was that question.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
what I
Sorry.
answered. Yeah, no
My bad.
problem.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lyra. We'll continue with now the map discovery, the amazing Cameron, and we'll take care of that.
I got you back. Hello, everybody. So I made a nice selection of 5 worlds, actually 6 worlds for this edition as well. So today we will start with 2 all-time VRChat favorites. So please check them out, and I'm sure I know you'll love them. for the Raindance Immersive Festival. And, we already covered one Dr. Morrow world previous episode. And, this is another one. It's actually two worlds. So Olympia has actually two versions, a day and a night version. And they kind of bring you to a fantasy world. And it's really amazing. Lots of hidden nooks and crannies. And then you have Suku, which comes from the mind of Dirk at work. And his inspiration is actually the place where he lives. He lives in Curacao. So it has a specific type of architecture over there. It's very colorful. And he mentioned also last year during Raindance Festival that he had Studio Ghibli as an inspiration for that. And it's very colorful, and you should check it out. Very fantasy-like structures in there. So leaves up with the remaining three worlds that I'm going to show, and they will really catch your eye. They've been recently released, like 2 to 3 months. So please, people, enjoy. So those are pretty amazing, right? Maze Meadow
goodness.
Cottage provides a nice and cozy atmosphere for you and your friends to hang out in. And you can even switch between day and night mode with a little bit of thunderstorms and rain. So very nice and cozy. So,
Okay.
and then you have, the pink Sakura Island. Lyra is actually very known for making these very big islands with a specific theme. So she has a fantasy theme, a Christmas theme, and this one is just all about Sakura spring because, well, we're in spring right now. And there's so much things in there to see. Play games, fireworks, drink tea. You saw a Torii Gate. There's so much stuff in there. And finally, we have Blumen's Blackfire, and the winner of the VRCA Artistic Direction Award. And it definitely shows. I mean, look at all those beautiful black holes. The atmosphere is amazing. And it's a world dedicated to the French explorers imaginaires. It's a little brainstorm, I think, and it's actually, well, this feels close to home because I'm part of that as well. And that's it for this episode. Take it away.
Well, I need all the links again. Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Don't forget the question.
Well, is there questions in the chat about the maps? By the way, every single link will be in the description of this live or on YouTube. If you're watching that on YouTube, the links are directly in the description of that video. So yeah, that's it. We do have a question. Yeah,
For Lyra.
Yes.
Lyra, we do have a question by someone in the chat. Yeah.
Yes. I have heard of the Sandbox. I know that it's kind of like a Gmod for Bone Labs and Boneworks, but I haven't got there yet. I know that just because I'm done with the main story doesn't mean that there's much more I can alter and do. So I am excited. I'm happy that a game like that I spent my money on too is just not only for main story. There's so much things I can do. Thank you.
Ok, thank you. Et un très grand bonsoir à Tonton Démon qui nous a rejoint dans le live. But yeah, hi to Tonton Démon in the chat. Can't wait to see your map. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much again, Karen. So now we're gonna switch over to our guest, Jason. We're gonna talk about EO's straps. Hi again.
Hi again. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting.
No problem. Can you introduce yourself, really? I mean, quickly.
Right. So hi everybody. I'm Jason. I'm one of the founders of EoZVR. And yes, we make those straps that I think have been a little bit popular in VRChat. Yeah, the green and black ones initially, and then we also made the VRChat version of the straps that I think some people might have. And of course, we also had partnered with various communities like Shelter, Trans Academy. We also made partner straps with them. And we also have the platform called ECP, which actually is a platform where we encourage individual creators, right? Be it hardware or software, as long as you're doing something for VR chat or something for VR, we will very much invite you to come and pitch us ideas where we will actually fund you, give you some money to get started if it's deemed worthy by by my colleague, which is sadly it's Bradley, right? So yeah, and I'm based out of Singapore and China, right?
Mhm.
So EoZVR is founded in Singapore, and basically we are an Asian company serving startup, a very small startup from the VRChat community, just like everybody here is, right? And it's just that my usual habits in the Asia side of the VRChat.
That's
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah.
So how about the straps? Could you talk a little bit about their design? Like, how do you thought of the like building them and like making them the way they are? I guess the feet straps are like all special, the chest straps too.
right.
So
I think it's all born out of a very simple logic, I'll say. So the I'm sure many people have used many different straps, right, previously, especially for Vive 2.0 trackers, which are
Mhm.
very early on in the VR days. So I have also used them, and with the straps I had then, it was very ouch. Yeah,
Mhm.
very painful to wear for long periods of time, especially if you're standing or if you're dancing. And so what happened was a group of us in the Asian servers, we they got together and say, hey, no, since you guys are making the Thunder trackers, why don't you make straps that go with the Thunder trackers? So yeah, that's how we went away. We thought about it, and then we came back to say, hey, if we make a strap like this, will you guys in the Asia community support, the making of it? And that was when EoZVR was born, right? And they said, yeah, we will support you. So yeah, one thing led to another. We made the first 20, 30 straps, right? And surprisingly, the first initial design was by a French guy. Yeah, yeah, it was by a French VRChat guy. And from there, we took it on to the next iteration and to the iteration that you see today that it's on the feet. And we have branched out from not only the feet straps, but the waist straps, the chest straps, and also straps for the limbs. Everything that you need for a full 11-point body tracking in VR
I
chat.
believe you've also told me that you're still working on new strap designs, like I believe for the chest specifically, right?
Yes, yes. So we are also working on improving chest straps to fit people with boobies. Because there was some people who say that our initial chest straps are great for guys, not so great for people with flat chests, but not so great for people with bigger chests. Yeah, so
That's understandable.
we are working on that, and we are also working on new iterations of all our straps. So our R&D is never ending. So always working on new versions of straps to make it more comfortable. And right now, our challenge is really to branch, I wouldn't say to branch out, but rather to explore to see what the community needs, right? Because, for example, a DJ who has a strap might need a very different strap from a pole dancer, right? So we are looking at different straps like this. And we are also reaching out to various different communities, like the furry community, to understand, hey, if you're in a fursuit, what do you need for a strap, right? And how would it affect, how you wear the strap or in a fursuit? So that is very dear to us. That's very important. We are always listening to, feedback. And for example, for pole dancers need feet straps that do not wear out so easily, right? You definitely do not want to buy the straps, dance on a pole, swing on the pole 5 times, and you have to change. That's not good. So, yeah, we are aiming to improve. We are always aiming to improve with our materials. And the main aim for us right now is when improving with materials, we want to keep the cost down so that we make it accessible for everybody. Yeah,
My other
that's the
question is regarding compatibility, because I know you support the Vive 2.0s, 3.0s, and obviously the Tundras, but what about other tracking systems? Do you plan on supporting like Slime trackers, Vive Ultimate trackers, that sort of thing?
Oh yes. So today we have EoZ straps, the black and green ones, for Vive Ultimate trackers already. And yeah, so the reason why we have them for Vive Ultimate trackers, because I think if you have used a Vive Ultimate tracker like me, you'll know that it's kind of like a bar of soap, kind of
Mhm.
top heavy, so you tend to droop forwards. So our strap was designed so that we hold it tight against the body, not uncomfortable, but just tight against the body so that you'll be able to get good tracking without jitter. Because if it jitters around, it will affect your avatar and it will affect how you look. So we have our straps that is compatible with the base of the Vive Ultimate tracker, where you can just snap it on and you can just press a button to take it off. Yeah. So
And
that
are
is
there
already
any
available.
other products or projects going on at EOZ that you'd like to talk about?
Right. So I think a lot of people will have known that we are making gloves for
Yes.
for tracking fingers. Yeah. And
Yes.
again, keeping with the spirit of EOZ, our gloves are going to be. It comes from the community, right? It comes from this
Mhm.
Portuguese guy, right? This Portuguese guy who is also in VRChat. His name is Ruben. Ruben, if you're watching, hi. Yeah. He is based out of Portugal, right? And he came to our platform that I mentioned earlier, the ECP. ECP
Mhm.
stands for EoZ Community Projects, right? So we took a look at him, we talked to him, we took a look at him and the project that he presented, and we were very, very amazed by his enthusiasm and everything that he is doing it for the community. So we have partnered with Ruben to bring to life his glove, right, which is
Mhm.
based off IMU trackers actually, and yeah, we're gonna make these gloves happen. The prototypes will come in 1.5 weeks. The alpha prototypes. These are very early alpha prototypes, but gonna come in 1.5 weeks. We hope, and then after that, going to be launching 3 to 4 months shortly after. And in this partnership, as I mentioned earlier, we welcome Ruben as a creator to EoZ, and we funded him, and we are going to fund the whole manufacturing process, and we are going to invest money in creating the molds, and we are also going to invest money in definitely creating products and producing stock for it. These gloves are very highly anticipated. We have a very long list of people asking for it. Yes. No
I'd
pressure.
imagine.
No pressure. um, we are targeting these gloves to be somewhere between 200 to $250 a pair.
Without the tundra trackers, correct? Just the
Without
gloves
the
themselves.
tundra track, just the
Got
gloves
it.
themselves, right? And we hope that this means that it's actually very affordable for a lot of people, because our aim is not to make money off this. Our aim is to, bring this project to life and to show really the world that, hey, the VR community is very creative, and yeah, that's the aim. Yeah, and
Do
hopefully
you have?
you'll see this soon.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But do you have any closing thoughts, I suppose, on the state of VR, on the market, or any other projects at EoZ?
Right. I think that VR is a very interesting spot right now, and I feel very honored and very lucky that EoZ is contributing to VR in our own little way, right?
Mhm.
And as a closing, as a closing, as a closing thought, I think that VR needs, more people coming in to use it. VR needs more creators, and by creators, I don't only mean hardware creators. I mean avatar creators, map creators, people who can do AI coding and make an NPC in a world, right? And
Mm-hmm.
people who can develop games, right? I think that all this will contribute to growth of VR in the long run and to normalize it. And so, in our own little way, this is a call to action. If you have an idea that you think you can contribute to VR, please come to our platform and come talk to me, come talk to our team, and who knows, we might usually fund people who are really, ambitious, and people who are very, motivated to do something for the greater good of the community. Yeah.
I'll
Whatever
say
we
that
do
for
is
the
always for a
podcast
community.
as well. Because
Yeah.
anybody who comes here, if you got some good ideas, if you got something interesting to say, we got a platform, we're definitely open to people like Jason and people like Cyrix and Puck to talk on here and just give their thoughts and talk about their things to an audience.
That's why we have amazing guests. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So
Jason will keep
once
in touch.
again, thank you. Once again, thank you guys for having me here. It's been an honor. Thank you so much.
No
Very
problem.
well.
Thank you.
You guys have some questions? No?
Yep.
What about
Any
the audience?
questions?
Silence clap.
Fine. Well, I don't have gloves to clap.
Let me try. No, poor index controllers. No, poor.
Yeah. Gonna smash them into each
You
other.
can hear my clacking.
Questions in the
It's good
chat.
enough.
Wait. No questions. Okay. So I think we're finished. Yeah, we do.
I think so, yeah.
No
Oh,
other questions? Cool. Thank you so much again in the chat for all the people asking questions. I see Chocolatin in the chat. Oh yeah, that was mentioned for the French guy that you mentioned. But yeah, thank you so much for the people in the instance. And thank you also Wolf. Thank you again, Jason. Thank you, Karen.
thank
Thank you,
you.
Lyra. It was Hyro. Thank you so much for being there. See ya next time. Next month at the beginning of the next month. The video will be also on YouTube. There will be re-upload on YouTube. And don't forget, there is also, if you are in VR or if you're using VRChat, you can join the group to participate directly, to be in the instance while we do the show and everything. Everything is in the description. There is also a Discord and everything, so you can join us. And that's it. Have an amazing night. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.